I have faith in Joe Douglas because he had built a winner before. That's something this organization usually doesn't go out and hire successful people. They usually try and find someone, and they never do. They're amazing. They're like, oh, for 400. We're trying to find the next guy. Um, but I don't really expect much from Sam because he has everything taken away from him. The Jets have pretty much done everything they can do to make sure he fails. And that's where I really feel bad for him because I think he's got talent. I think early on in the first year with the Jets, there was like a 4 or 5 game stretch where he played pretty well against the Broncos at home, against the Colts at home, where he threw 3 touchdowns, no picks. You know, it looked like he was coming along. And then when Adam Gase comes into it, I look, there is nothing good that this guy has brought to this franchise. And that's saying a lot when you consider all the morons that we've had come and go as head coaches and general managers. So
absolutely.
What I like about Douglas is at some point during the season, he said, forget it. I'm going to get rid of the guys as I can. The Jets have 7 draft picks in each of the next 2 years in the first 3 rounds, each of the first 3 rounds. That's where you build your franchise. And it's never been done before, at least in my lifetime, where the Jets just said, okay, forget it. We are rebuilding. We're going to go through the drafts. We're going to put all that we can into developing guys for the next couple of years and putting themselves in position to do that. Usually in New York, any kind of throwing up your hands in defeat is seen as, well, I mean, the Jets can't be any worse. So I'm glad to see they're at least trying to build the right way, because as you've seen with the Dolphins, last year, the Dolphins beginning of the year were awful. This year, they're one of the better teams, if not up there, similar with Buffalo in the AFC East. So you can rebuild it fast. You just have to know what you're doing. And I would give Douglas the next 2 drafts, and we'll see what I think he did a pretty good job taking draft picks this year. So if 2-3 years from now they're still in this position, I don't think they will be, then we can complain. But I think Douglas is the first guy to have the guts to go and rebuild this from the bottom. And that's, I think, at the end of the year, if Gase isn't fired, if the house isn't totally clean, then I'll be a little pissed. But I think to give him the chance to do that, and starting with next year and then the year after, we'll start to see players actually develop, which we haven't seen in a long time. Me and JJ were talking. I don't know what Jet head coach outside of Parcells has actually developed their draft picks into Pro Bowl players. And it would be nice to see the next coach we have come in here be able to do that. I trust Douglas with that more than I trusted just about any other general manager that's come through.
Can I just respond to that? Can I just respond to that, please?
Yeah, yep. Daniel, go ahead.
Because listen, I understand where Mark is coming from, and look, that's what we needed to do. We need to, rebuild this team. We need to go forward and get rid of whatever, players that were not good, get rid of them and bring in new players. But didn't we just rebuild the last 2 years with the McCagnon and Bowles era? After Fitzpatrick led to that 10-6 season.
Mike McCagnon.
Didn't we rebuild already? Didn't we just rebuild this team? Didn't we just rebuild this team? I mean, why are we rebuilding again? Why? When you had Mike McCagnon, when you had Mike McCagnon, okay, look, you had Mike McCagnon rebuild this team after Fitzpatrick goes 10-6 in the first year. Second year, that's Bowles' fault because he couldn't handle the personalities of Brandon Marshall, who was having an internal fight with both Muhammad Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson. And it was really those two on defense that started the fight, that tore down what was supposed to be a better year, that we were supposed to go and make the playoffs. And unfortunately, Todd Bowles could not handle those big personalities, and that destroyed everybody. And then you had to go 4-11, 4-12, whatever. And then the next 2 years, okay, we're rebuilding. All right, we're rebuilding. Then Bowles gets fired. McCagnon stays. You hire Gase. And what does McCagnon do? I want to bring over free agents. I want to bring in Crowder. I want to bring in Bell. I want to bring in this guy. I want to bring in that guy. I want to bring in CJ Mosley. And then it's like, you know what? The rebuild is over. Rebuilding again? No. You telling me that nobody is pissed off? Fucking pissed off? That you have a season, a second half of last year to go 6-2. You finished 7-9. And then you have all this crap happening, and now we're going to have 0-16. I mean, I'm not going against you. Yeah. It's eventually going to happen. We're going to go 0-16. I understand that. I'm not rooting for it, but I'm realizing we're going to go. It's going to happen. But I'm very pissed off, and every other Jet fan should be pissed off that here we go again. A promising second half of last year to go 6-2. You end up 7-9. Okay. Where are the weapons for Sam? Gone. I understand Jamal Adams kicked and screamed like a little fucking baby out of here. CJ Mosley, he opted out because of the coronavirus situation. I understand that. It's okay. But then you get rid of Robbie Anderson, or you don't even attempt to keep Robbie Anderson, and he goes to Carolina to his former college head coach. Bell now wants out. You kicked him out. Avery Williamson is now gone because the season is shit, and no one is upset because all we're worried about is the number 1 overall pick. I understand all that, but you know, I'm pissed off.
Yeah,
I'm fucking pissed off. Yeah, we had a chance to improve.
All right, I had to pull back a little bit, Dan, and I'm going to keep it real because I was where you were before we started the cast today. And I'm just going to say this, going back to the whole point of the rebuild, the reality is that the people that we had entrusted to rebuild had no clue how to build anything. And that's, you know, that's most definitely exemplified by that Mike McCagnon draft, where there's not even one of the players literally made. Did they even make the team that season? Or they were.
Was that McCagnon, or was that?
I'm still saying they need to do a 30 for 30 on that draft. They need to, because
they do
stories, and I'm sure they can find them guys at the local Publix or the local car wash because they're still there because they weren't football players. Now this is my point. We spent a lot of time, we spent a lot of effort. The 10-6 season was a mirage. We knew that, and at least I called that. We talked about that very, very seriously. Why would you do that? Me in particular, just discussing the contracts from that year, I personally said we should have, if we were really truly going to rebuild and we really had done the necessary self-scouting to know what it is that we needed to do, we would have kept Snacks and we would have shipped Wilkerson's ass out of here quicker than tell you whatever. Because that's what we should have done.
No, you're absolutely right.
You're absolutely right about the Todd Bowles thing also. Todd Bowles, you know, even I have to give credit to Todd Bowles for keeping a lid on things after the Geno Smith thing. But I'm just going to be honest with you. I think he went too far because I personally think that instead of allowing Fitz to continue, if we're trying to build a team, especially through our draft and with our draft picks, and I get a lot of flack for this, but I keep saying we should have let Geno play, because that's the same instance that we're having this season where we have all of these guys who are not going to be part of the equation going forward. We could have literally answered the question, could this kid play?
I agree.
You gave them the tools. We should have done that. And I still believe that that's what we should have been doing. We're getting to that point now, but I think we're getting to that point now because we kind of have no veteran personnel. Because Joe Douglas has been giving all these guys the golden parachutes, and I'm thankful that he did that for them. Steve McClendon put him on a winner. Avery Williamson put him on a winner. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell put him on a winner. He put all of these guys on teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
No, I understand that. So
it's
just frustrating.
It is frustrating because this is the thing, and CJ will tell you at the beginning of the year we talked about this team. We talked about this coaching staff. We talked about all of the players who were supposed to make an impact and who were supposed to give us that hope that this team was going to be able to play. And CJ will tell you again, because I think we both echoed this kind of same thing. The X factor beyond the players, the X factor is Adam Gase.
Right.
Adam Gase is a horrible coach. He's a horrible student for all of these players. Again, we had Le'Veon Bell, one of the best running backs, just still in my opinion, to do it over the course of the past how many ever seasons.
Exactly.
And now he's literally sitting on somebody else's bench because same as we did with Sam, I'm not going to say we ruined him because I think he still has talent. But
no,
we cast doubts on if the kid can still play. We cast doubts on that. We're talking about one of the best players statistically before coming here in NFL history, and we cast doubts on if the kid could play. Here's a situation with Sam Darnold. We spent all of that capital to go up to draft him and to bring him here, and then we did everything that we could to strip down everything around him. I said before, Sam Darnold doesn't need safety blankets. Sam Darnold needs weapons, and we haven't given him weapons. Not only have we not given him weapons, but the guy who's supposed to be teaching him tactically how to attack has no clue how to attack at all.
That's right.
That's right.
They handed Sam, what did you say, Kevin? They handed Sam a couple of pea shooters and a fucking slingshot.
Two slingshots in the 22. We wanted to give him a bazooka. We wanted to give him, bombs, tanks. We wanted to give him weapons. And we gave him stuff that'll scratch the skin and maybe cause a little irritation, and that's it. And as of right now, that's really the fact of the matter is that at this point in time, I think really the focus should be on what Joe Douglas is going to do going forward. Because I mean, his first draft, literally with the team, was a hit.
I agree.
He's made some serious mistakes in free agency.
Yes,
I'm going to give that. He's made some serious mistakes in free agency, beginning with not bringing Robbie back.
That's right.
All right, really quick. Hang on a second, guys. I want to get some of these comments on the air. Again, anybody who's watching the broadcast right now, you'd like to chime in, just go right into the comments section and, put your comment in, and we will definitely get them on the air. I lost the first set of comments when I actually refreshed, unfortunately. But I did want to give a shout-out. Jocka T. His name is actually Sergeant Thomas from the 45th Medical Group. Yeah. If y'all had a deep threat and a running game, the Jets could afford to make that end a blocker. True. I could agree with that. He also chimed in with the Jets need some Bama in their life with Mac Jones and D. Smith. Well, we already got some Quinnen Williams, and today Q had himself a day making his presence felt. So he really got himself a day. So they got a little Bama in their life. They just need to up their game a little bit. Shout out to Warren Rohan. No more excuses for Sam. Everyone has seen enough. Dude, I am now at that point where, you know what? I agree with you. I cannot defend Sam anymore. We can't continually blame the offensive line. I mean, there's only so much that we could blame on the coaching. There's only so much that we could blame on the play calling. Eventually, you got to make a play. If you really want to be a good quarterback in this league, you have to pull your head out of your ass and make a play. Sam, unfortunately, did not do that.
Well, who leads that? Gase. Gase and the play calling. Dowell Loggins. It's really simple. Well, I understand that Sam's got to improve everything.
So
I understand Sam's got to improve himself, and I understand that. But the point is that the offensive line has been built poorly, except for Becton, who's fantastic. How do you have a 38-year-old running back being your lead running back? How is that possible? How?
Right.
How? So, and we don't have a coach. I know that guy who popped in, who just left. We know we don't have a head coach. We know that because he sucked in Miami, sucks here. He's an idiot. He tries to be a fake Belichick and he doesn't know how to get his own head out of his own ass.
Look, this is probably going to be a recurring theme. We're going to touch on this quite a few times over the course of the rest of the show.
I know.
What we have right now, as far as player personnel is concerned, is really it's the effects of drafting poorly for 7 or 8 years now, right? So I mean, we're going back to Idzik, we're going back to McCadden, we're really going back to why we are as depleted as we are with no foundational talent. We're also getting to a point, and Mark made this point, I think, really presciently earlier when he said we can't get guys past their first contract. I mean, we get first round draft picks, and how many of them are here? None of them. Second round, we've been atrocious in the second round, save for Marcus May, and hopefully, fingers crossed and toes crossed and eyes crossed and everything else, that Denzel Mims will be the one to kind of continue with that streak. But
yes, absolutely.
We've been so bad at the top of the draft. I mean, Quinnen, I think what is Quinnen going to be like maybe one of the first round draft picks that will actually offer a second round contract to, because Sam ain't going to make it. Jamal Adams is out of here. These are the guys that we spent top 5 draft picks on, and they're not even with the team. Are you kidding me? We've got deep-rooted organizational problems to overcome.